Hello, I'm Dr. Balasubramanian Tyagarajan. Today, in our continuing Scribus tutorials, we will touch upon color management inside Scribus. So, Scribus really provides an intuitive tool to manage the various colors which can be incorporated into the document. A document looks appealing, document looks enticing when it is filled with colors. So, the color as displayed in the web and the color as displayed in a print are two different things. If the user decides that he or she is going to generate a white and black or grayscale document from the Scribus, the entire issue takes a backseat. We need not bother about color correction or color management. But if the user decides to have or to generate a document which is full of vibrant colors, this is a tutorial which you should keenly attend to get into the basics of use of color, distribution of color inside the document, and how to make the color or set color inside the document to look exactly the same when printed. So these are all the issues which confront a desktop publisher. The major headache for a desktop publisher is to bring out the color as displayed on the screen on the print, because the color mechanism of monitors and printers are exactly the opposite. The monitors use a process known as addition or color addition to display the vibrant colors, whereas printer uses the process of subtraction to display the colors. So basically these two systems are exactly the opposite. So the colors, the science of color, generating color is different when it comes to a document which is going to be distributed in the web or the document which is going to be printed. Yeah. Shade of red. Now after assigning a color as spot color, the user needs to send the same thing to the printer. So how we go about doing that? What we'll do is, we will go to file, we are going to send the document as a PDF document. So we will go and say save as PDF. So here you just choose the color, and then the output is intended for, it is not going to be screen, it is going to be a printer one. And here if you choose convert spot color to process color, all the assigned spot color will be converted to process color, so that will be converted into CMYK. So if you don't choose this convert spot color into process color, the color assigned as a spot color inside Scribus will be faithfully sent out to the printer as a spot color. So this is one way of assigning a spot color to the document and send it across to the printer effectively. Now, deciding on the optimum color to be used within the Scribus document is a little bit of a headache for the beginner. So here there is a nifty tool which is available under extras. You see the extras menu here. I will zoom and show you in the menu bar. This is the menu bar. I am going to extra. I am going to click the color wheel. This color wheel is a useful tool which helps the user to decide the optimal color to be used in Scribus. So here what we can do is, we can choose, first thing you do is you choose a base color. So the user needs to choose a base color. So if you choose a base color, this happens to be the base color, and then you can apply scheme. This is monochromatic scheme. This is how the base color will look like. So here this happens to be the base color. This is a darker shade and lighter shade. This base color, the base color is converted to a darker shade, monochromatic dark, and the next is monochromatic light. So this shows three different combination of colors which can be used, and this happens to be the numbers, the percentage of CMYK used to generate these colors. You can similarly get the percentage of RGB. This is actually the newer standard HSV, and then inside the document you can choose. You can directly go to the document and choose something like this. So these are all the default colors available within the Scribus. These are all the default colors available inside this document. You can choose this, you can choose this, you can choose this. But all said and done, you can choose a color of your own and assign it to the document. So here the scheme is monochromatic. If I try out analog, so what happens is, analog happens to be the basic color is chosen. This happens to be the base color. This happens to be the base color, and then it chooses two adjacent colors. So for example, the red happens to be the base color. So this is the base color. Red happens to be the base color. In addition to the chosen base color, since we wanted two analogous color, it chooses one up and one down the wheel. So it has chosen the first analogous and second analogous colors. So that is the way if you want an analogous scheme, it will, if you choose the base color, it will choose one color above and one color below that level in the wheel. Supposing if I am going to choose complementary just opposite shade. Supposing the wheel, you choose a color. This is actually the base color by default we have chosen, but it also chooses just opposite color on the opposite side of the color wheel. So it displays it here. This is actually the complementary color. This is a single complementary color where you just get the result for base color, and this is actually the complementary color. If you keep your cursor, it tells you the various percentages of CMYK mixed to generate this color. So I keep it here. It just gives, but you will be you can be sure this same value will be represented here. You can see the same value represented here, but you can customize these colors by adjusting the value of CMYK in varying proportions. You keep playing with it till such time you get the best color combination. So this is a very nifty tool. It is in fact quite useful to spend some time on it. So let us go and choose something called split complementary. So what happens is, in split complementary, along with the base color which has already been chosen, this red dot indicates a base color, 4 more shades of color are being represented. What are these 4? One color on the same side above, that is this one, and another color below the base color. So you have 3 colors on one side and then 2 complementary colors on the opposite side. So it chooses here one above, one below the base color, and then you have the exact complement of the base color and another color just below the complementary color. So you have a base color, that is the blue. Now you have the first split, second split, third split and fourth split. So all the other colors which is added to the base color or goes by the name as splits. So it is actually split complementary color. So what happens is, when you choose split complementary color scheme for your document, what Scribus does it, here this red dot indicates the base color and it chooses one color above and one color below the base color, and then chooses 2 complementary colors on the opposite side of the wheel. Then similarly, if you keep the cursor on the color, it will give you the various CMYK values, and if you want RGB value, you can get the RGB value. If you want a HSV value, you can get the HSV value. So all these things are possible with this color wheel. Then let us go and see the other schemes available. Triadic. So triadic actually, it indicates 3 colors. As usual, the red dot indicates a base color. The first triadic happens to be just above the just here, this is the complementary color. Just 45 degrees above the complementary color you get the first triadic, and then below round about below the complementary color you get another black dot. That happens to be the second triadic. Here you get 3 different colors. If you choose a triadic, along with the base color you have the first triadic, which happens to be the mild magenta color, and then the second triadic happens to be a shade of yellow. So this is also you can do it. Then you go to tetradic. This is actually double complementary, where you have the complementary color. This another color is chosen on the same side of the complementary color but a higher value, and then another complement just opposite to the base color, another complementary color is chosen, and then just below the complementary color chosen, another complementary color is chosen, resulting in 4 different color combination. In addition to the base color, you get a red, you get a dark blue, or you get a brown, shade of brown. All these things are possible just by playing around with your color wheel. Now let us come to the act of editing the already present color within the Scribus. For that to happen, we need to know the colors which are already available inside the Scribus. Even though the user has got the possibility of importing other colors into the color palette, but let us see basically how to edit the existing color within the Scribus. So Scribus is provided with, I go to edit, open the color window. So this is actually the color window. Here you have these are the sets of colors which are available within Scribus. So if I want to edit a color, if I want to use a various combination of cyan, so I will select this color and go to edit. So here this is the cyan. I will use a color model. I have the choice of using CMYK model, RGB model, or WebSafe RGB model. So before starting to create a document, the user should decide whether the document is going to be printed, or whether the document is going to be delivered by web, or whether the document is going to be a brochure. All these things should be decided before the user starts to work on the document. So if the document is going to be printed, the color model that should be chosen is CMYK. And now this color cyan can be edited by using the following color maps. So these are all the various color maps which are available, and the most simplest thing happens to be your own Scribus color. Let us go to Scribus basic. This is the Scribus basic color which is available with us, which you have already seen. Now here you can edit this cyan. So cyan is right now 100%. You can alter, increase the magenta here, and then so let us say this is cyan. Actually I am increasing the magenta, I am increasing the yellow slightly, and then I am increasing the black to a certain extent. You get a new color. You can give out a new color name for the new color, edited new color, and use the same color from the if you give out a name for this color inside your if you give out a name for this color as something unique, so I will say cyan edited. So we can say okay. So now what we can do is, you see inside this color palette this cyan editor is listed, so you can keep on edit these various color combination to arrive at a new color, and you can use the same color to push. The same color can be pushed into your palette, and the color can be easily used inside the document. Now let us see how we are going to use a color inside a shape. So for that to happen, I should insert something called shape. So I will go ahead and insert a round shape. So I have inserted a round shape. Now the thing I need to do is, I want to add color to the round border. For that I go to the properties palette, and then I go to shape, and then go to colors. So I wanted to add only the color around the border. So now let us try adding a color to the border of this circle. So I will say I will add a dark blue color. You see the color has been added. Now I want to fill this shape with the fill color. For that to happen, you need to click this bucket. Bucket is actually a fill color. So normally if you use the normal fill color, so use this, it gets filled with a color. You can choose a green, you can choose a blue, you can choose a yellow. All these things are possible. Then you can play around with the shade value. You can reduce the shade. So what happens? The shade, as you keep reducing, the hue reduces, the color reduces. And then you can also increase or decrease the transparency. The more opacity, the more opaque, it will be seen well. If you want this image or this shape to be at the background, text to be on the foreground, you can decrease the opacity and make this image slightly visible. So this is one way of adding color, using color to ensure that the background image really stays back. So let me go there to the colors. And now you can also use these color gradients. Color gradient is actually the art of using two or more colors inside an object or inside a page. And this color transition from one color to another happens rather smoothly in a graded way. So if it is going to appear in a horizontal direction, so this is actually the yellow grade. I would like to add another color, blue there. So now I will add a dark blue and then what's this one? So now I add, you see what has happened? So I have added two colors, yellow here and a blue here. It slowly, you can slide these arrows to ensure that you can shift the transition line from one lane to another horizontally. You can add a third color if you want. You place a cursor and then add a third color. So you can add 3 or 4 colors and you can create a gradient. Make it, say you can reduce the shade a bit, reduce the opacity a bit. Then you can also use a vertical gradient. Then you can use a diagonal gradient. Then you can use a cross diagonal gradient. See how the image changes. Then free linear gradient. And then free radial gradient. So you can choose. So let us try and add white there. So now you see what is happening the moment I add a gradient, change the position. You see what is happening to the color of the image. See now I have added a white. So now the white is coming into play slowly. So this is how you can play around with gradients. But you got to be very careful when you use gradient. Use it sparingly. Use it on if you are designing a magazine, use it for a headline. But don't keep using it very often, because if you keep using very often, the eye-catching effect of the this gradient is lost. Now let us see how we are going to apply a color to the text. Let us delete this. We will add a text box. Now we will type something. Let us copy this. Just to fill up the box. Now we want to change the color of the text. There are a few ways of doing it. The easiest way is to go to the context menu, properties. Inside the properties, go to the text and then you go to colors, and here you choose your line property and you can give out a color for the text. First thing, you need to select it for the color to change. And go to text and then go to color and FX. Sorry, I've taken you to the color change inside the frame. You need to go to, I'll do it again. If you want to change the color of the text using the properties panel, go here, go to text, and then here you get the color and FX. You can choose a green color, it will be changed into green. If you make it cyan, it will get changed into cyan. You can reduce the percentage, make it 100, and then So these things you can change the color. So now how? You can also change the color of the text frame. So you can go to the color and then go here. You use the fill. I'm going to use this green. See what happens. So you can use the same properties window to change the option of the to change the color of the text frame. There is one more way of changing the color inside text, that is going to the story editor. I will go to open the edit text. This is the story editor. To edit the color of the text inside story editor, first thing is the shadow effect needs to be applied. If you don't apply the shadow effect, the text color change won't enable. So now you can go ahead and use cyan. See what happens. Then you can use a blue one. See what happens. You get a blue. And then go and apply black and change it. So it will get changed. So you can change the color this way, adjust the saturation using this. And you have also the option of changing the color of the story editor. Going to setting, background color, you can give out a green. See what happens. The entire story editor will become green. If you want it to be white, the story editor becomes white. So these are the way in which you can play around with color inside Scribus. Thank you so much for your patience.